When Bambaataa became a DJ, he unleashed a new energy into hip-hop. It was an energy that tapped into a frightening force which dominated Bronx life in the 70s, its street gangs. In an era when the Bronx was rife with savage territorial conflict, Bambaataa was already well known in the area as a notorious gang leader.
At that time, you know, we was part of the gang movement, you know, the Black Spades, the Savage Skulls, the 70 Immortals, the Reapers, all those groups was, you know, controlling the Bronx. And then from my travels and seeing one of my best friends get killed by the police on Pelham Parkway in the Bronx, you know, and seeing how a lot of the brothers and sisters was getting hurt up, that's when I said I had to, you know, try to lead, you know, our organization into another direction.
Bambaataa formed the Zulu Nation, a dedicated following of local hip-hop enthusiasts who organised parties and then put the money they made into community self-help projects.
You gotta understand, you really have to understand that the Zulu Nation had originally been the Black Spades. They were the biggest, most feared gang in the Bronx. I mean, they'd wear these denim jackets with the cut-off sleeves and fur around the collars and Black Spades written across the back. And this was before gangs had a lot of guns, so it was all about getting beat down with these and with sticks and with knives. I mean, it was brutal. And Bambaataa had the inspiration to stop this gang-banging nonsense, stop killing each other, and let's get creative. So he turned one of the most violent street gangs into one of the most influential cultural organizations. His status was literally legendary. When you heard of Afrika Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation, there was a whole section of the Bronx that was under his command.
Well, the name Zulu Nation inspired me when I seen a movie back in the early 60s which featured Michael Caine called Zulu. That movie just stuck with me. It was just, you know, inspirational seeing the people of Africa fight for what was theirs. I said, you know, one day I'm gonna have me a Zulu Nation.
Bambaataa's personal conversion from gang leader to hip-hop DJ set a trend that swept the Bronx. Kids who would previously have joined gangs began channeling their energy into hip-hop, literally taking to the streets with speakers and turntables.
We just went to the nearest light pole and just plugged in and did, you know, and got our juice. You know, and the police used to come by, you know, even though that was illegal, they allowed us to do it, you know what I mean, because it contained us, you know what I mean? They knew that, you know, as long as a block party going on, that's where everybody at.
Well, the battle was to see who was the competitive artist, who was the more better, who had the better moves, who had the better style.
So who won the rocking contest?
You all know we took him out, right?
The crowd would judge it, and they would just say, "Who you think won the battle? This guy or this guy?" And they were like, "Is it A or is it B? B? Yeah." And then, you know, the crowd would just hype it up. Yeah, boo.
Who goes for Rocksteady?
When DJs battled, the crucial factor was having the best breakbeats, and that meant digging up obscure records that your rivals didn't know about. The more unexpected the source of the breakbeat, the better the crowd liked it.
The B-boys would come to the party, they'll stand on the side, you know, the breakers, and they would just, you know, you're doing your thing, you're throwing on your joints, but they're just waiting for that moment that you just break out with some Apache.
Now that, let me tell you, if you didn't dance to that break, there was something wrong with you. There was something wrong with you.
But DJ supremacy wasn't only about having the best beats, it was also about what you did with them. In their efforts to outdo each other, Bronx DJs began developing a series of revolutionary turntable techniques. Scratching was the most famous of them, a method of stopping the record and rubbing it back and forth against the needle. The trick here was to do it without damaging the vinyl. DJs also began using 2 copies of the same record, playing them off of each other back and forth to extend the beat. This was known as backspinning.
It was just magical to see somebody extend a piece of a record for like 3 to 4 minutes that that was only like a 20-second part in the song. That was magical.
The very last element of hip-hop music to emerge was the skill of rapping. Like the musical style itself, rapping evolved out of a combination of ingenuity and circumstance. At this stage, the term rap was yet to come into existence. Picking up a microphone to speak over a record was simply called MCing.
MCing evolved from the DJ having a microphone to make announcements, to announce when the next party was going to be, where the next party was going to be, who was going to be at the party, you know what I mean? To acknowledge members of the group, members in the crew, or people in the audience.
And I used to call people's name and say, yo, to my Mellow Wallace, D, or this is the joint. You never heard like this before, and playing around with it.
Every DJ, either he did that himself or he had somebody that would make the announcements for him, started to embellish, you know, when they would say things until it grew into sentences, into paragraphs, you know, into verses, you know, into rhymes.
Who are you? Who am I? 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 I'm Cass. So what do that mean? That I'm the baddest MC lover on the hip-hop scene.
It's the Bronx in the house.
MCing was the final element which made the music complete. The next phase in its development was about to begin. But the music itself still lacked a name. By the late 1970s, one would emerge.
People used to just toss it around, yeah, little hippity, let's call it little hippity hop. It was the hippity hop. Yeah, little hippity hop guys down there. You know, and then they twist around and call, little hip hop guys. Yeah, little hippie parties, little hype parties like that. Then he finally, you know, went that way, went this way, and then out comes hip hop. And that kind of really, that label kind of tagged on it. Hip hop tagged on it, covered the whole scope of the game.
Hip hop, as it was now known, had grown from being a neighborhood pastime into a fully fledged culture and a way of life. Since hip hop was still unrecognized by any record labels, the music existed only in the form of live performance.
Hip-hop is taking the sound system in the park and, you know what I mean, setting it up and playing 5, 6, 7 hours and then tearing it down and taking that sound system home. That was hip-hop, and we did it faithfully because we loved it.
Let's go from party to party. 15 guys packed in the back of a van, speakers, records, turntables, amplifiers. We driving down the highway, set up in Connecticut, rip the party apart, throw all the speakers back in, everybody back in, drive back home, go to sleep, get up the next day, might do the same thing again. But that's the way we do it.
The story continues tomorrow at 10 past midnight. Hip-hop is just one of the many things that have shaped and changed life here in England. If you'd like a chance to create a free website about the other influences, visit channel4.com/insight. Next up, top techniques for a couple with